In this video, I'm going to share with you a quick video tutorial on how you can create your own snowman, family of snowman bags like you see here. And each one is so cute. They have their different attire. They are ready for that family portrait picture. But more importantly, they're ready to add a smile to anyone's face that you might give these adorable bags. With either goodie treats inside of them or a little special gift, something to brighten someone's day. Now, as far as what you're going to need is you're going to need some pattern paper that you want your outfits to be out of. This is, of course, a great opportunity to take advantage of your scraps of paper. You can mix and match them. You can still have them coordinated, but different patterns, or you can have them match completely with the same pattern. And then along with that, some cardstock that you'll use for the brim of the hat, the white cardstock for the face. Now, with that said, we do have this printable over on our blog that does have some faces printed. So if you want to either use the printable or to add your own face, and I'll go over that here in a minute. You will notice that there are some patterns here, templates that you can go ahead and pre-cut those out to use them, and little buttons if you don't happen to have a circle hole punch just are provided on this printable as well. Along with that, you'll need the tiny bracket designer template. That is the one that we used to create as we played and design these snowmans, and the bag size is 3.5 inches wide for these smaller sizes. If you want the larger size, so just kind of proportion here, those are 5 inches, your traditional sandwich bag, paper bag sizes, and we use the bracket accessories instead of the tiny bracket. But the same steps that I'm going to be sharing with you can be applied for those larger sets. So let's go ahead and dive right in. So starting with our daughter snowman here, right? For this one, I'm just going to kind of give you the overall sizes. We used bracket 2T for the face, bracket 3T for the top, and as far as the brim, that is 1 inches by 4 inches wide. Okay, or so it's 1/2 inch by 4 inches wide, along with the number 2 and the number 3. So what we're going to do is, the basic steps of this is we're going to trace out the hat in whatever pattern you want. So in this case, I went ahead and traced it onto this plaid. And for those of you that may not be familiar with Kiwi Lane, you're going to use these as a designing template. So you're designing with them, but then of course, very simple to just trace and cut them out. Very low tech, not a lot of tools or fancy things required. Just a good pair of scissors, and you're just gonna trace it and then follow that line, and kind of using your cutting hand as a station place and sticking to the back end of your scissors. You're just gonna kind of glide it through with your alternative hand. So you're, in my case, my left hand, and glide it through the scissors. So very, very easy to cut that out, as you can see. Went really fast. Now, as far as the face goes, so we do have this printable that can simplify the process a little bit. Otherwise, if you prefer to trace it out onto white cardstock, then you can simply add some googly eyes, buttons in place of. Just cut out a little orange nose, and really it's as simple as just clipping a little triangle into your cardstock, right? And then adding your face. Now, when you do go add your faces, I recommend kind of starting at the chin, which is basically the point of any of the brackets that we will be using. And then you go up and you draw a dot, right? And then you go 3 to the right and 3 to the left. So that's how you can add your own little smile face to your snowmans. But in this case, I'm gonna be using the printable. I've used it both ways, and the templates are see-through, so you can line it up, and I recommend keeping the smiley face down towards the bottom of the bracket. We do need the top to add the hat portion too, which we're gonna do next. And then you're just gonna trace that out around that printable provided. So really, again, simplifying this process. So fun. Something that you can absolutely do with little kiddos as well. They love it. I always recommend detaching it, and in this case, staying really close to your trace line, and then detach that, right? And then we'll cut that bracket out. So simple. Now, for those of you that like to ink, you can absolutely ink the edges, depending if you have some pencil marks showing. In this case, I did pretty good, which is not all the time, but if not, this is where the inking step, we just recommend adding a little bit of ink to your design, and hides any blemishes or imperfections and or pencil marks. All right, so I just did a light edging on that, and then I also am gonna do a light edging on our hat here too. Now, before you attach it to the bag, you're going to go ahead and adhere the head together. So to do that, you're gonna add a little adhesive to the top of the head. Okay, add the hat. Now, as far as the brim, you can add some pop-up. So you can use some pop-up here, or you can just adhere it down, whatever you prefer on this. I always like to add a little bit of pop-up where I can, so I'm gonna add a little bit of just pop-up for dimension, but either way is really cute. So again, whatever you like. And you can add little extra embellishments. You see here on this one, I added a little flower to the brim of the hat, or any other fun little extra pieces that you might want to add. This might be a little too big, but little small snowflakes would be really cute. I just saw this sitting on my table and I was like, oh, so I might have to go and pick up some smaller ones. That could be really cute. So now that we have the head of our first snowman done, let me go ahead and show you how you attach it to the bag. Okay, so to start off with, no matter what size of bag you're using, if you're doing the larger ones or the smaller ones, you're gonna flip it over to the back where the end flap is, and you're gonna fold it over, say, I don't know, about 1/2 inch, you know, maybe a little bit over a 1/2 inch, and you're gonna fold that over on the back, and that just gives it a flap to easily access whatever you put inside of this beautiful gift bag. Then on top of that, before you adhere that down, I would suggest adding any of the other clothing that you might be dressing up your snowman. So in this case, we have a little scarf, and that's where these little, these 3 different design templates here are provided in the printable. So I'm gonna go ahead and detach this. And I personally just recommend at the start to just cut these out, have them pre-cutted so that they're ready to start creating with. And we're just gonna cut these out, and we're gonna use these as the template. So now I'm gonna trace, of course, onto my pattern paper. You can get so many fun designs out of one 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. Lots of snowman you can create with just one sheet. And then of course, really pulling on your scraps of paper. Have fun with the different styles, clothing, just whatever that personality might be of each of your snowmans. You can have a lot of fun creating a variety of different personalities and characters. Okay, so we're gonna cut 2 of those out. And the reason I recommend to cut those out first is so that you can kind of get them situated and see where you want to adhere them. And they will go up underneath the head. And so we're going to just add a little bit of ink to those edges. Now our face of our snowman is going to go right at the top of our bag. So we're basically adhering the bottom portion to the top of the bag, and the hat is gonna go up over the top of the bag, right? Now, depending on what adhesive you're using, you might want to adhere these down first if it's not like forgivable adhesive, and get them situated. But placing your head down will kind of give you guidelines to work around as far as where to place these. So I like to have them kind of go off the edge of the bag so you can see how they not on the bag entirely, but just kind of placing them so they're kind of catching the wind. Okay, so they do come off the bag, as you can see here. Now you're going to go ahead and add adhesive to the back of the bottom part of the head, and we're just going to attach that to the top of the bag, and we have our first snowman done. Then you can of course add some buttons down the middle, or of course paper buttons in this case, and you could, if you have a circle punch, this is basically a 3/4 circle punch, or a 1/2 inch size would probably work as well, and you could just add a couple buttons, paper your little buttons down the middle of the bag to continue to dress up her attire here. So have a lot of fun with those. Okay, so now as far as the other snowmans go, so this one is the mother snowman, and for this one, you'll trace out 4T for the face. Again, if you want to use the printable, then you can align that up and use that. And then on the hat, we're going to use 3T again. And then for the shawl here, we used 1T, and we cut 2 of those out. And the same thing, you're going to cut each of the hats out, adhere them together, and then place your shawl. Again, it comes off of the bag, off the side of the bags, down first, and then adhere your head down to the bag. So very simple on that as well. And as far as the rim goes, on this one, it's 4.5 inches wide. Okay. The next one is the little guy here. And for him, we use 2T for the face. And then we're going to use 1T for the top of his. And then the bow tie, you're going to go ahead and trace and cut that out. And then of course, trace it out of the pattern paper that you want that little bow tie to be. Add it to his attire as well. And then as far as the brim goes, this is 3.5 inches wide on that. So again, 3.5 inches by about 1 inch, bracket number 1T and bracket number 2T. So very simple, easy to put him together. And I love that bow tie. So cute, so cute. All right, and then for Daddy-O here, we're gonna use 4T on the bracket for the face and also for his top hat here. So you'll use 4T there as well. On this one, the brim it's 4 3/4 wide. So 4 3/4 wide. And then of course, using the vest, tracing that out of the pattern, adding a couple little circles here for the button. On this one, just kind of show you different styles here. I did decide to go ahead and cut out a bow tie and give him a bow tie. And then on this one, I did a pattern paper tucked in there. And again, you can dress it up however you like, or change the style of its outfit and the colors, and just have a lot of fun creating a variety of different ones that not only will bring a smile to your face when you're creating them, but of course to those that you gift them to. And they're really fun for, of course, not only the holiday season, the gift giving season, but you know, as we come into January, and often it's not uncommon to have winter blues. And so thinking about opportunities to spread that joy and that smile, and maybe having more of that wintry theme, and keeping that spirit of the season going through January. And it can be something as simple as just a little treat inside, hot cocoa bomb, or a little self-care bubble bath care, kit, whatever that might be. Something to kind of give to someone in January, to lighten those winter blues. Even into fall. Here, I'll show you really quickly. This is just a fall version of the same design and process that I just shared with you. And again, it's really just a matter of changing up those papers, pulling out your scraps of paper and creating a few different ones. So lots of fun ways that you can just play to create and have a lot of fun. Of course, like always, we'd love to see your creation, to celebrate your creation with you, and then of course, be inspired by your creation. So please share it with us in the community. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to contact the team members at support@kiwiling.com. Thanks, guys. Take care.